So Amy, maybe you'll talk a little bit about what your memories were of those early meetings and how we began the design process here.
The challenge that was really presented was, we need to make the pathway more accessible, but it needs to maintain its character. The brick is very important. And then also, in addition to the accessibility, we wanted to come up with a strategy to get as much drainage as possible off the pathway before it collected and ended up down by the natatorium.
We were talking about, of course, greening our space, being good stewards of conserving water, of making it accessible, of having both form and function. And I don't know if you recall that right when we were about to announce the plan, I called you and said, how about we include the quad as well?
Yeah, one of the things that I really like about the quad redesign is that we were able to carry the path all the way up to the administration building. So it completed that last section.
What we learned, I think, in the initial phase was some changes needed to be made to accommodate access to the path and some things that we didn't see on the drawings initially. And Cameron was great to kind of advise us through that whole entire process. We incorporated some underground infrastructure for future projects with electricity and also fiber optics, and they were a critical part of that as well. So,
Cameron, what were some of the challenges and opportunities that you found in doing a project of this scope?
You only had a few entry points and you had to come up and down this path, and it's a little over a third of a mile, so it's not a short little project. Everything that we took out of here we pretty much recycled. The old brick was donated, and all the concrete was recycled.
Sean, maybe you can take us through a little bit about how we tried to think in long term of making sure that our campus was to code, but how we were running conduit and all of the infrastructure that was happening underneath the path that people didn't see, and what were some of the surprises that came our way during the project.
We met on a weekly basis just to make sure that we were in lockstep and one step ahead of those things if we could be. Josh had the wherewithal as we started really mobilizing on this project to realize that we're trying to connect our fire panels from West Campus up to East Campus, and so we asked Cameron early on if they would trench, we would lay PVC so that we could run the electrical and fiber, and that saved us just a lot of duplicate efforts as well as a lot of money.
I mean, even the fire road, which we had talked about for saving water and thinking about it that way, but it makes the interior campus much safer for ambulances, police, fire trucks to access. So we were able to be very mindful as we were doing this, right? Maybe, Amy, you could talk about the pitch and how this was designed.
The way that we redesigned the path is in the same place that it was before, but it's pitched slightly to the south. So water running down the path is gonna wanna head towards the south. And the way that we configured the seat walls was so that every so often between the walls there's an opening. So if water's running down the path, it allows the water to run through those openings and into the drainage ponds that are designed with rock and plants that attract pollinators. And the idea is that that water would shed off the path and then irrigate the plants that are in those ponds.
We recycled our bricks, our concrete, we mulched the trees that we had to take out. We have 80 new trees that are here. We took down 20, but we put in 80, and that does not count all of the shrubs, bushes, flowers, and other kinds of species. We diversified our vegetation along the path.
Yeah, I think in so many ways, being able to harvest water and use it to irrigate plants, the removal of the turf so that Academy can be using less water.
Cameron got us in touch with the water authority here locally. We've had representatives from those departments to come out and kind of guide us in what the process is to continue to evaluate different areas on campus that would be a good opportunity to reclaim some of that turf back and cut back on our water and look at sustainability through that lens.
One other thing that I thought was really cool about this project was we got to go into the classroom and work with some of the students in an engineering class, and Cameron and his crews were really helpful too, in that they let us take the students out and look at certain parts of the path installation, and I just thought it was really cool that the Academy was interested in making this project a learning opportunity.
I just want to say thank you for your partnership, your wisdom, and really just beautiful work. And we hope that we have an opportunity to work with both of your firms again in the future.